The Whittington brothers, Don, Bill, and Dale, were three men from Lubbock, Texas. Their life story is like a movie, filled with fast planes, race cars, big wins, and big secrets. But first, smash that like and subscribe for more. Here's their story. Growing up, Don and Bill were more than just siblings. They were partners in mischief. Don, being the elder of the two, often took the lead, with Bill following close behind. The two youngsters would often be seen lying on the grass, gazing at the vast blue sky, completely mesmerized by its expanse. The sky seemed to whisper secrets to Don, instilling in him a passionate dream of soaring through them. Bill, who admired his elderly brother deeply, soon embraced this dream as well. As time moved on, the 1970s saw these young once and dreamy-eyed boys turning into skilled pilots, participating in air races. The adrenaline, the roar of the engines, and the freedom of the skies, they were hooked. Their adventure of tales were becoming legendary, and many even whispered that their skills seemed almost too good, hinting at the possibility of them belonging to the most criminal family in racing history. Whether it was true or just the result of envious competitors, the brothers didn't care. They just loved the thrill of the chase. Their passion led them to Dallas, where they became proud members of an aviation group known as the Confederate Air Force. This wasn't just any group. It had a unique mission. They dedicated their time and effort to restoring old aircraft, ensuring they were not lost to history. Once restored, these historical planes would be showcased at air shows throughout the US and Canada, drawing large crowds. Don and Bill were in their element. They not only took immense pride in restoring these beauties, but also in displaying their prowess by flying them. In fact, they once tweaked an old airplane to an astonishing speed of 438 miles per hour, furthering rumors of their mysterious skills and possible ties to a notorious racing lineage. Growing up, the two brothers were always captivated by the world of racing. Their passion grew so strong that in 1978, they decided to buy a famous racing spot called Road Atlanta. At this venue, numerous races took place, drawing fans from all over. But the brothers weren't content with just owning a venue. They wanted to experience the thrill of racing firsthand. They explored various racing formats, diving deep into the world of speed and adrenaline. By 1980, their interests had drawn them towards the renowned NASCAR racing. Their time in NASCAR was marked with significant achievements. Don clinched victory 7 times, leaving spectators in awe. Bill wasn't far behind, securing 2 impressive wins. However, it was during a race at Daytona that their reputation took a hit. They were on the verge of setting a new record when rumors began circulating. People whispered that the brothers were using a hidden bottle in their vehicle, a tool to boost its speed. Such an act was a clear violation of racing regulations. Along with this, their car's engine was frequently changed. These engines didn't come cheap, leading many to wonder where was all this money coming from. Whispers became louder, suggesting their ties to the most notorious family in racing history. In 1982, the brothers decided to take on another racing challenge, the iconic Indy 500. This time, their younger sibling, Dale, shared their enthusiasm and joined in the competition. However, the Indy 500 was known for its unpredictability. Tragically, Dale met with a massive crash early on, forcing him out of the race even before he could make his mark. This unfortunate event scarred Dale, making him realize that perhaps the Indy 500 was not the right racing avenue for him. The brothers' racing adventures, coupled with the controversies, only deepened the mystery surrounding their lineage and the speculations of their association with the most criminal family in racing history. During the mid-1980s, the atmosphere around racing shifted. Whispers started circulating about the notorious brothers, members of what many would later call the most criminal family in racing history. People became curious and suspicious. How did the brothers amass such wealth? Why were their pockets always brimming with cold, hard cash? By the time 1986 rolled around, the shadows that once hid the truth about the most notorious family in racing history began to recede. People were buzzing with curiosity, and then the authorities came forward, pointing fingers directly at the infamous brothers. Whispered tales suggested that this duo wasn't just indulging in regular mischief. They were said to be deeply involved in many illegal things. They were accused of dodging taxes, moving money in sneaky ways, and even being involved in the dangerous world of drug dealing. Their list of alleged sins was both extensive and shocking. Word on the street had it that these brothers had a sophisticated method to conduct their shady business. They were said to use planes and boats to carry out their drug operations. What was even more shocking was the rumor that they were bold enough to use these very racetracks, places that held their family's name high, as secret landing places for their aircraft, especially under the veil of night. They supposedly turned these places of prestige into hubs for their unlawful activities. But that wasn't the end of their cunning. In an attempt to divert the attention of law enforcement, they allegedly hid the money they made from these ventures by using fake company names. There were even murmurs about them launching a brand new perfume, promising it to be revolutionary. However, many felt that it was just a story, a distraction from what they were really up to. But as time went on, the truth began to shine brighter, and the lies couldn't hold up any longer. The weight of evidence against them became too much to ignore. Overwhelmed by the reality they faced, the brothers had to admit what they had done. Don, who was older, was sentenced to serve 18 months in prison. This was surprisingly shorter than the fate that awaited Bill. Bill got the tougher end of the stick, with a sentence of 15 long years. The mighty empire that this racing family had built came crashing down. They had to pay a massive $7 million to the authorities. Among the many things they had to part with was their most treasured race car, which once stood as a testament to their prowess in racing, but had now become a symbol of their fall from grace. In the notorious racing family saga, Dale stood apart from his elder siblings, Bill and Don. He was the youngest of the three brothers. Unlike his brothers, who were deeply intertwined in illegal activities, Dale had managed to steer clear of the family's darker affairs. He had a passion for racing, and even though he occasionally indulged in the sport, he battled personal demons of his own. Significantly, he struggled with substance abuse. Tragically, the ravages of addiction took their toll, and by the turn of the millennium in 2000, Dale had passed away. Years after their time in the limelight, the older brothers Bill and Don yearned for their old glory days. One particular object that symbolized their former success was their 1979 race car. They had once proudly driven that vehicle, a testament to their prowess on the racetrack. They hoped to reclaim this piece of their past, approached a museum that now housed the car. However, their attempts to retrieve it were unsuccessful, leaving them with just memories of its roar and speed. After serving his sentence, Bill, not one to be grounded, returned to his old love, flying. The skies had always beckoned him, and he continued to soar, embracing the freedom it gave him. But fate had a different plan. In 2021, in an unfortunate turn of events, Bill met with a fatal plane crash, ending his turbulent journey. Of the three brothers, only Don remains. The world has changed, and many wonder what he's up to nowadays. Given his past, it's possible that he still has an affinity for planes. Maybe he's involved in aviation in some way, or perhaps he's just a silent observer, cherishing the memories of their time as the most talked about family in racing history. The story of the Whittington brothers had big dreams, big wins, but also big problems. From flying in the sky to racing on the ground, and then the sad truths that came out. Their story is a reminder that life has many turns and surprises. If you had the chance to sit down with one of the Whittington brothers, which one would it be? And what burning question would you ask them? Let us know in the comments. Smash that like and subscribe for more.